Dexter New Blood episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am, you're watching Dexter or Dexter New Blood, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you if that happens to be the case. If you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And I hope all of you enjoy this new webcam that I got. It's obviously very wide angle, and I don't think I figured out the lighting with it yet, because the lighting doesn't look as good, but I'll try it out to see where the videos go. And if you're interested in my original review of this episode of Dexter New Blood, I'll put that right about here, with about 20 seconds left to go in the video if you want to check that out when Dexter New Blood was actually airing. This will be Dexter New Blood, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Storm of Fuck. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start off with Dexter and Harrison sitting at the table. Dexter wonders what he could possibly say to his son he abandoned. He tells Harrison he got big. It happens, Harrison says. Dexter wants to whip up some blueberry pancakes, as it used to be Harrison's favorite and he used to love them. And Harrison says he's not 5 years old anymore. He's going to make Harrison a sandwich. It was a long trip for Harrison. Dexter talks about getting second place in a bowling tournament. Harrison says, so you're not dead. And then Harrison says he read his letter that he sent Hannah, and Dexter is shocked to hear Hannah let him read the letter. And no, I read it when she died. What the fuck? Hannah is dead? Fuck this show. How can you kill a character like Hannah off screen? Now, I get if there was some issues of getting the actress Yvonne Strahovski to be on the show. I don't know the specifics behind it, but really, you kill her off screen? Dexter says Hannah died. Hannah died of cancer, specifically pancreatic cancer. Dexter is upset that she died 3 years ago. Harrison says he found Dexter through an Instagram search for Jim Lindsay from some Fred guy his post about him, Jim Lindsay, bowling a 300. So why all this Jim bullshit anyway on this show? Dexter says it's not who he is anymore. Ghost Deb is hitting a bullet against the window, breaks the window, and calls Dexter a selfish psycho. She puts the bullet in his mouth, but she's really not there, so she didn't actually do that. Episode title, Storm of Fuck in the Mirror, which is pretty cool, but still a stupid way to do the episode because they said that Hannah died off screen. The chick that Angela helped at the bar, Lily, is in a hotel-like setting, drinking and having a pretty good time. Someone, though, is watching her on the camera. Dexter wants to get back to the daily routine. Maybe he should go back to being in AA or NA meetings, or go back to Miami Metro and talk to Soderquist, who's like the most brilliant detective there is. Dexter sees the blood in the snow. This is what happens when I give in to my dark passenger, Dexter says, but he can fix this. The cavalry has arrived. A bunch of cop cars come. Angela says Matt Caldwell disappeared in the woods last night and she wants to use his place as a base camp. And Dexter's like, okay, if you want to do that, whatever. And then Angela wants to use the kitchen table, and Harrison comes out and says, what's going on? Harrison says he's Jim's son. Angela says, it's really nice to meet you, Harrison, with puzzled look on her face like, I didn't know you had a kid. Teddy tries to give Dexter some tips, and let's just be honest, Teddy is the biggest idiot on this show. Angela tells Harrison he should meet her daughter, Audrey. He didn't cover for Dexter for him. Harrison says he didn't want a cop all up in his business, so he could have just told Angela that he's Dexter Morgan. Dexter, not Jim. But he didn't want Angela all up in his business, so he told her that he's Jim Lindsay and that's his father. And then Dexter tells Angela him and Harrison can take a path to the search, and for the search, I should say, and you can tell that Angela is pissed about the son that she had never heard of. And the girl that's in the room, Lily, that gets sick, that's being watched. Apparently, too much to drink. She had too much fun time in there. And Dexter tells Harrison he's only been in Iron Lake a few years, and the Angela thing is rather recent. And in watching this episode over again, this is a really boring episode. It took me like 4 hours to finish this episode. It's spread out through 2 days, just to give you a heads up. Dexter and Harrison find the dead deer, or as other people call it, the dead buck. I'm not exactly sure what the differential is of when you call a deer a buck and a buck a deer. I don't know. I'm not a hunter. I should go hunting. It'd be kind of fun. But anyway, Dexter wants Harrison to take the RV, or the RTV, I should say, not the RV, back to the base camp to let everyone know what they've found, as he gets no cell reception in the area. Sure. I'm sure Harrison could figure that that's not the case. Angela goes to visit Ed Olson. He's like the town rich guy, the guy that they were protesting with in the last episode. And she needs his helicopter to spread out the search. He's not happy with Audrey's protest to him. They don't know all the good work he does. Ghost Deb is annoying Dexter at the dead deer scene. Dexter plants Matt Caldwell's glove close to the highway. The people of the Seneca tribe are not happy that Matt Caldwell may have killed the deer/buck. The leader mentions Iris, a runaway to Angela. Teddy is such a stupid cop compared to anybody at Miami Metro. I did actually put that in my notes here. The first time I mentioned it, I just kind of went off on my own tangent there. Angela may have to have Dexter or Jim deputized because she has an idiot like Teddy on her force. Logan, though, he seems pretty good. Harrison sees Audrey. He helps Dexter with the animal. Harrison talks about having a goat in Argentina, Vincent Van Gogh. Harrison goes to talk to Audrey, to Dexter's surprise, because Dexter couldn't talk to people because he was socially awkward and still kind of is, but he did it this time, Harrison did at least. And then Ghost Deb bugs Dexter about being a serial killer. Dexter screams at Ghost Deb in his truck. And then Tess, who is the one that works at the tavern, sees this, and Dexter just gives her the peace sign. Like, okay, we're good. I just, needed to scream and let something out. Audrey, Harrison, Zach, and Scott are going to hang out. Someone's really interested in a sleeping chick, Lily. Gig cuts open the deer/buck and says the shooter didn't really know what they were doing. Yeah, Matt Caldwell is a fucking moron. Angela gives Dexter the "we need to talk" line. Audrey is talking about Angela, gives Harrison the thought that Hannah was a lot like Angela. Apparently, she always wanted to know what he was doing for Harrison's case and Audrey for Angela's case. Ed Olson's helicopter flies above and the kids look to hide. Harrison gets into a locked door. He doesn't have the same lockpicking skills as Dexter, but it got the door open regardless. Because of this, Audrey says her mom is really not going to like him. Angela tells Dexter she's thrilled that Harrison is here. Angela tells Dexter she's not Audrey's birth mother. Angela wants to talk parenting with Dexter. Yeah, Dexter has more things to talk about than parenting. And then Angela tells Dexter Harrison's going to love it here at Iron Lake. Harrison tells his new friends that he had an issue with drugs, but he got clean a few years ago. Also says his real mom died a long time ago, and his stepmom died a few years ago. Well, stepmom, Dexter and Hannah would have to be married, wouldn't they? Isn't that how that works out? I don't know. The wrestler guys go through Harrison's backpack as he went to go get some wood as he was cold. Harrison sees that they were going through his stuff, though. Lily is freaking out because she can't find her cell phone and because she can't get out of this room that appears to be a hotel room that's not able to get out of. And then she finds out she's being watched. And it says something like, "You're already dead." Angela grounds Audrey because she was hanging out at the summer camp all day long. Audrey calls Angela a crazed-over dictator. Is Harrison's room in a closet? It's a really small room that doesn't have a lot of space, and it kind of looks like a closet to me. Harrison reads some of the note that Dexter had wrote Hannah. Reach out to me if Harrison shows any dark tendencies, the note says. Harrison tells Dexter after Hannah told him that Dexter is dead. He kept a picture of his dad by his bed, and he tells Dexter all of his memories of him were good, except for the fact that the worst thing he did was he left him. Harrison would prefer regular pancakes in the morning when they talk about the school stuff. Ghost Deb calls Dexter a smug fuck. Ghost Deb swears more than regular Deb. It's ridiculous. Matt Caldwell's dad, Kurt Caldwell, shows up. He says he came as soon as he could. Kurt says that Matt would have called him if he was in trouble. My son has disappeared and we need to find him now, Kurt Caldwell says. He doesn't want them to give up on his son now when he needs them the most. Kurt says he's going to find Matt if it's the last thing he does, and the camera goes down to under the fire pit where Dexter has Matt's body parts in bags and his rifle, and that's what ends the episode of this episode of Dexter New Blood. So I wasn't really impressed with it this time around. I don't remember what I scored it in my initial review. It was more recency bias because Dexter New Blood was new, and I was happy that Dexter was back. I felt like moments of this episode were really slow and boring, and the fact that they killed Hannah off screen, and it just infuriated me, that decision. And Ghost Deb is really fucking annoying. She should be more positive than negative, but I guess that's why she's Ghost Deb and not just, Harry or whatever. But I'm going to give the episode a 6.9 out of 10. The female character of the episode and the character overall is going to be Angela, and then Hannah again being killed off screen has me absolutely livid since I just watched season 8 of Dexter. So watching everything and then rewatching New Blood has me have a different perspective on things. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed, and this episode was a little boring compared to the first episode of the show. So you've heard me ramble long enough. Hopefully this view is good and I come in somewhat clear on your end. If you're a fan of Dexter or Dexter New Blood, make sure you smash that like button, and it does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Share the video with anybody you want. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are. What would you rate the episode? Who would be your female and male character of the episode? And I don't really have a male character for this particular episode. And leave me lots of comments. Just tell me what you think, what's your score, anything that you want to talk about. Tell me why killing Hannah off screen was a good idea, which I know a lot of the Dexter fan base doesn't like Hannah, so okay, whatever. But not a good idea in my opinion. And then last but certainly not least, remember the original review of this episode will be about right here, right now, over here. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel, especially if you like Dexter or Dexter New Blood. Show your damn support and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.